Mrs. Thatcher's political instinct when she and her advisers analysed tomorrow's local election results before deciding when to call a general election. She's expected to announce the date on Monday after a weekend summit at Chequers. But today the party chairman, Mr. Norman Tebbit, was not denying that June the 11th was the safest bet.
Norman Tebbit enters his office to practice with his latest election toy. This terminal is linked to a £40,000 computer programme which will give him instant analysis of the election results. All three parties have entered the computer age this election, although the transition to high technology has not always been easy. But the effort is worthwhile.
We'll be able to look at how the opinion polls have been showing up at the same time as well. And we'll be able to analyse not only individual seats, but regionally, perhaps the West Midlands, East Midlands, or something of that kind. So we'll have a very comprehensive display.
You'll know pretty well whether you're going to win that election on June the 11th.
Well, this will be a pointer, perhaps.
So no denial of the date from Mr. Tebbit, who's ready to use the results as the first shots in a campaign. The Alliance, meanwhile, is also determined to extract maximum advantage. They've set up a committee to analyse the results. They predict 400 gains, and they hope to restart the Alliance bandwagon as a result, which seems temporarily to have stalled. At Labour headquarters, they're concentrating on target seats, ranging from the best chance of Leicester to number 143 on the list, that's Worcester. Workers throughout the country will be ringing in with the results for their computer so that their spokesman can be given a rapid assessment of Labour's chances. The party's pledged to winning 10 councils, but points out that it did well when the seats were last contested. It seems that only a disastrous performance at tomorrow's polls could now stop Mrs. Thatcher going for an election on June the 11th. Nevertheless, the polls are vital because they'll set the whole pattern for the election campaign. And that's why all three parties are so determined to gain what publicity they can from this event. Peter Allen, News at 1, Westminster.
City News now, and after Wall Street's strong overnight climb, the London stock market's been in a buoyant mood. At 1 o'clock, the Financial Times 30 share index at 1,645.6. That's up 18.7 on last night. And look at the weather. Much of the country will stay warm and dry this afternoon with occasional sun, but it will be cloudier over Northern Ireland and Northern Scotland. Tonight it'll stay cloudy in Northern Ireland and Scotland, with most other places dry and clear. And the main news of the day again, a World Health Organization conference on the killer disease AIDS has been told in Geneva the spread of the virus has been seriously underestimated and underappreciated. The former Labour Prime Minister, Sir James Callaghan, has called for a fresh inquiry into allegations that there was an MI5 plot to overthrow the government of Harold Wilson in the 1970s. A government statement is expected in the Commons this afternoon. And the captain of the Herald of Free Enterprise Ferry has been giving evidence at the inquiry into the disaster. He said it had been a normal day up to the time of the disaster. That's the news at 1. We'll be back with you again at the same time tomorrow. Hope you'll be able to join us then. From all of us here for the moment, goodbye.
Good afternoon. B-Jams, the frozen food company, are to face a Crown Court trial after a teenage worker died at one of their stores in Hampshire. Darren Stacey, who was 18, was decapitated by a goods lift at the store in Porchester near Fareham. It's alleged that B-Jams broke the Health and Safety at Work Act. A date for committal proceedings has been fixed for June the 3rd. A woman has been crushed to death by her own car after a freak accident in Reading. Her brother was carrying out repairs when it lurched forward, pinning her against a car parked in front. Police believe he accidentally started the engine when he reconnected the battery. 39-year-old Linda Safroniou died on her way to hospital. A family were rescued by firemen when a blaze damaged their home in the North End district of Portsmouth. The family of 4 had been trapped in their bedrooms. A faulty electric dishwasher is thought to have caused the fire. The Navy's War Memorial statues on South Sea seafront in Hampshire have been damaged by vandals. The heads of 2 statues have been knocked off, and it'll cost more than £1,000 to repair them. Police in Sussex say they're still searching for clues after a burglary which could have caused the death of a pensioner. Mrs. Rosa Hicks, who was 87, was found dead from a heart attack at her home in Bridge Road at Chichester. It's thought she'd been woken up by burglars. Police say one or more people broke in through a downstairs window. One of the main hospitals in West Sussex will be reopening an old ward thanks to extra money from the government. St Richard's Hospital at Chichester will benefit from an extra £600,000 being given to the Area Health Authority. Anthony Nelson, the city's MP, led a deputation to the Health Minister appealing for more money. A teenager died this morning after crashing a stolen car in Newbury. He was 17 but hasn't yet been named. The crash happened at Turnpike Road in Shaw. A £9 million sea defence scheme is underway at Seaford in Sussex. It involves shipping millions of tonnes of gravel along the coast from Littlehampton to build a new beach. It should prevent Seaford from being eroded into the sea. Melanie Bradley reports.
The waves lashed against Seaford Esplanade by gale force winds are spectacular to watch, but devastating in their effects. They've been eroding the coastline for years, leaving the town with little defence against the encroaching elements. Now man is fighting back, but at a price. It cost nature nothing to take away the beach at Seaford. It's costing £9 million to replace it. In a massive dredging and pumping operation, Southern Water are literally rebuilding the shoreline. Shingle is brought in by ship from the Owers Bank off Littlehampton and pumped into place through a half-mile-long pipeline. Bulldozers then sculpt it into shape.
Portsmouth Football Club are today celebrating their return to the First Division after an absence of 28 years. Training was the last thing on the minds of the Portsmouth players when they arrived at Fratton Park this morning. The celebrations of the night before were set to continue. For the men who clinched promotion for this famous club after 2 years of disappointment, there was a deserved champagne reception from their manager, Alan Ball.
I'm just so pleased for everybody. My players, I mean, it's been 3 years now. We've been close so many times that I thought it was all going to go all over again at Palace the other day. We didn't deserve that. And I wish we could have wrapped it up there then and gone to that bank where all our supporters were and shown them our feelings. But we'll show me a Saturday we want a party for them. And they can relax, everyone can relax, the chairman, everybody. This club's in the First Division where it deserves to be.
Now the morning's cricket details. At Headingley, Hampshire have restricted Yorkshire to 64 for one after 33 overs. At Worcester, the home side are 115 for one after 32 overs. Garth LaRue, the wicket-taker there. And at Taunton, Somerset are 72 for 2 after 31 overs against Surrey. And now a look at the weather forecast. The rest of the day will be dry, sunny and warm with highest temperatures about 19 degrees centigrade. The winds will be light and variable. Tonight will be dry with lowest temperatures around 6 degrees centigrade. That's all the news just now. Remember, there'll be plenty more stories in Coast to Coast tonight at 6, so join us then.